Tonight on Connecticut's news station, a look at new evidence in the case surrounding the death of Jennifer Dulos. We'll have the latest developments in the Tronas trial.
Plus a press conference about drug prices taken over by protesters calling for an Israel-Hamas ceasefire. We'll show you how local leaders responded.
The vandalism of a tampon dispenser in a local high school is causing controversy. The reaction from both sides that we're hearing tonight.
It's a story of resilience. A dog who was thrown out of a car now living life to the fullest on 3 legs. That story coming up on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Brent Harden. Day 16 of the Tronas trial, and jurors are learning more about evidence found in the investigation into the presumed murder of Jennifer Dulos.
The New Canaan mother of 5 was last seen alive in May of 2019. Fox 61's Julie LeBlanc has a breakdown from outside Stamford Superior Court.
This is indeed the black plastic bag that I examined.
Forensic scientist Anita Velonis digging into DNA evidence. Evidence police say was dumped by Fotis Dulos in Hartford with his then-girlfriend Michelle Tronas in the passenger seat. All on the same day Jennifer Dulos went missing.
I noticed reddish-brown type staining on each of these gloves.
From gloves to garbage bags, Velonis looked at every detail, swabbing the items for DNA evidence, hoping to find out who was involved. When she saw what looked like blood, she tested it using a screening test, which indicates blood is there, but it's not confirmed.
The word indicates means possible.
In court Friday, Velonis went through dozens of things that tested positive for the presence of blood, like the handle of this broom found on scene.
And I obtained a positive result indicating the presence of blood.
And in the bags, she found fibers, testing them for human hair.
I determined that this hair-like fiber was in fact a human hair.
Velonis found 5 human hairs on the evidence she inspected. On a white towel, the inside of the door of the Toyota Tacoma police believe Fotis used in the crime, in a clear plastic bag, in garbage bags, and on a sponge. Those hairs were then sent to another lab to see whose head they came from.
Perhaps the bag was knotted and someone would be touching or carrying this bag.
The defense questioning the condition of some of the evidence, which police found in garbage bins in Hartford, among other things.
Dumping everything from that barrel into one larger construction bag and bringing it someplace else, would that not be within the protocol as you understand it?
I don't see any alternative. Would you like them to spread out paper and go through this garbage can item by item on a city street?
You also agree that it would cross-contaminate any items that were in that barrel, correct?
It's a barrel of garbage.
Now, since the state only had one new witness to call to the stand today, court wrapped up early. Testimony is expected to continue on Monday. We're in Stamford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Julia, thank you. New Haven police are asking for the public's help identifying a suspect they are calling a serial armed robber. Police sharing these photos saying the suspect has robbed 6 businesses since January 20th. At each location he entered shortly before closing time, displayed a gun and demanded money. Police say he has worn the same pair of sneakers during each robbery. The suspect is considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information, call New Haven police.
Well, tonight a woman is dead. She was struck and killed by an SUV in Bristol. This happened just before midnight last night on Route 229 near Lake Avenue. Police say the woman was crossing the street when she was hit. The driver was not hurt and is cooperating with the investigation. The name of the victim hasn't been released.
A federal grant will go toward fighting roadway accidents on the Silestine Highway in Weathersfield and Rocky Hill. The $625,000 grant will help improve road conditions. This move is part of the $6.6 million awarded to Connecticut through the bipartisan infrastructure law. Between 2017 and 2021, there were 23 roadway fatalities on the Silestine Highway.
East Hartford police say they found more than 100 pounds of marijuana while arresting 2 suspects in connection to a home invasion. They shared this photo of the marijuana they seized. Police say it was found inside an apartment. The two suspects are accused of a home invasion and robbery at a house on Nutmeg Avenue yesterday. Their names haven't been released. Both are being held on $800,000 bond.
Well, this morning, a press conference with Senators Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal talking about the cost of prescription drugs was interrupted by pro-Palestinian demonstrators.
Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolforce was there. She spoke with the senators and the protesters. Emma, what happened?
Well, Sarah, Brent, the small group of demonstrators tell me they want more than just statements, asking the senators to take action and push for a ceasefire now. This comes as Senator Murphy and a group of more than 20 U.S. senators are urging the Biden administration to increase what they say is urgently needed humanitarian aid in Gaza.
Israel and the U.S. are starving the people of Gaza.
I'll be happy to talk after the press conference.
We need to talk about it right now. I'm sorry. No.
Friday morning, what started as a press conference about lowering prescription drug costs shut down by a group of pro-Palestine demonstrators.
Do you want to shut the event down?
It's not my intent to shut it down.
We'll leave.
Senator Chris Murphy eventually walking out after protesters again shouted over him and Senator Richard Blumenthal.
It's an act of genocide. That's why we're here disrupting this press conference. A genocide violates every single norm of human relations.
The Connecticut Palestine Solidarity Coalition wants Murphy and Blumenthal to push for a ceasefire, saying sanctions on aid to Israel are necessary, but don't go far enough.
Senator Murphy and Senator Blumenthal respectfully have done nothing. They are some of the most powerful people in the country, and statements are not enough. We need action. We need them to introduce legislation. We need them to speak out.
Blumenthal says in visiting Israel and speaking with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the Biden administration, he's urged for more humanitarian assistance to Gaza.
The aid going to Israel includes humanitarian aid. So it's more than a condition. It's actually a part of the aid that we should provide.
Blumenthal praising the Biden administration's new sanctions on settlers who commit violence in the West Bank, and Murphy continuing to encourage sanctions on U.S. aid to Israel.
I think there will be a conversation to make sure that that aid is used in accordance with human rights law and international conflict law. I think that's an important conversation to have if we're sending billions of dollars to our allies in the Middle East.
And today, Senator Murphy sending that letter to President Biden, calling the humanitarian crisis in Gaza dire, saying, quote, the civilian suffering is at an unacceptable and staggering level. This letter lays out 5 specific steps Murphy and more than 20 other senators want the Biden administration to take to significantly increase humanitarian aid in Gaza. You can read the full letter on our website at fox61.com. Sarah, Brent.
Thank you, Emma. Turning to the weather now, another gloomy day, but lots of sun on the forecast.
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned that. There's some sunny days coming up. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank here now to tell us about it, Rach.
Oh, the weekend is a light at the end of a long, dark tunnel. I went back and counted how many gloomy days we had in a row, and the going count is it 9 or 10? You know what? I lost track at this point. Today's high temperature, 43 degrees, a bit above average for this time of year. And then heading into the day tomorrow, temperatures will be closer to the norm, but still with that sun, it's going to be tough to beat. Taking a look at the radar, you'll see all the steady rain is pushed to the south of us. There is still a chance for a sprinkle or flurry in spots, though. As we head through the evening tonight, we're seeing a few of them coming down through Pomfret right now, Storrs, Coventry. But other than a few flicks of the windshield wiper, that will be about it for us as we head through the evening tonight. Temperatures in the mid-30s as we're gearing up for the news at 11, and overnight lows will be dipping back into the upper 20s to right around 30 as we head towards daybreak tomorrow with some clearing skies after midnight tonight. We're going to be waking up blinded by the light for a change. We'll see high temperatures tomorrow climbing through the 30s, and this sunshine continues. We'll explain coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Vandalism at a Connecticut high school has catapulted the school into the national spotlight.
Yeah, someone ripped off a newly installed tampon dispenser in a boys' bathroom at Brookfield High School. That's where we find Fox 61's Matt Karen.
The principal here at Brookfield High School says this isn't the first time there's been vandalism in the bathroom. Broken stall doors, soap dispensers, things getting stuffed in the toilets. But it is the most egregious example. Just 20 minutes after this tampon dispenser was installed in the boys' room of Brookfield High School, it was ripped from the wall.
They already have like the nurse's bathroom and they have an all-gender one, so I don't really care, but it's just not that big of a deal.
Student Alistair Gall tells Fox 61 he thinks there's more important things to talk about than bathroom vandalism.
We've been doing that for like the past 3 years. I just feel like it's kind of getting blown out of proportion.
Brookfield High Principal Mark Belanda sent this message to students and staff saying he was disheartened, dismayed, and disgusted. But there are others, including state lawmakers, who are just as disgusted the dispensers were put up at all.
Rather than debate this policy, I'll just simply say that I don't approve of it. I don't believe that it's good public policy. The constituents in my district have expressed their dismay over it.
The installation of tampon dispensers is the result of a new state law pushed through on the final day of a legislative session. The law states boards of education shall provide free menstrual products in women's restrooms, all gender restrooms, and at least one men's restroom. The law was put in place to accommodate transgender and intersex students and to address what the State Department of Public Health calls period poverty and the struggle of families to purchase menstrual products. The State Department of Education sent a statement saying, quote, having open dialogue in the school community can help everyone understand the law, ensure a school environment where everyone is respected and all students are supported. But some on the other side think it's another example of injecting controversial ideology into education.
This quickly became a big issue in my district. It was all over social media and people commenting and raising concerns.
Brookfield police also showed up at the school today. They say out of concern for student safety, the school will reinstall the tampon dispenser. They believe they know who was responsible. Reporting outside Brookfield High School, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Matt, thank you. Still to come here on the